can go over there and you can go out there. But right in here is our water line. There's too much water out here. Everybody can get some of it. You just can't have none of this.
Alright y'all, this is my most requested video by far. Here is the update video about the incident that occurred a few weeks ago whenever a firearm was pulled on me while I was fishing. So I wanted to wait until there was an actual conclusion to this whole ordeal before I posted a video about it, but the internet has no chill, so here is what I know so far. And I've had tons of comments, hundreds of comments asking for an update. And hopefully all the people that are leaving those comments actually watch this video. And if you're here looking for the update, please, please, please just watch the whole video all the way through without skipping before you comment asking something that I've already answered. I'm going to try to be as thorough as I can without wasting your time. So here we go. I have notes on my phone just to make sure I cover all my bases, make sure that there's nothing left that you guys are going to ask questions about. So if I look down, that's what I'm doing. I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything. So first off, let's just talk about the video itself. I posted the video in mid-October. It's like 2 or 3 days after the incident had occurred. At the time, that video was pretty much all the information that I had. I didn't have anything else. There was no charges at that time. There was no nothing. The video showed everything that I had available. So the video is comprised of 3 parts. There's an intro where I explain what's about to happen in the video while I'm catching a redfish. Then there's the actual incident that happened. That's part 2. And then the third part of that video is the police call that I made directly right after the whole incident happened. It was the only part that was cut out from the time the incident happened to the time the police call happened was maybe 2 or 3 minutes while I was dialing 911 as I was trolling my boat away from the dock. But other than that, it was all within a couple minutes. So upon posting the video, it immediately took off, and I had about 130,000 views on that video in about 3 or 4 days. A whole bunch of people stole that video and posted it as their own, and it's probably got millions of views by now, combined with all the other people that took that video from me. So unfortunately, the video did attract a lot of people who've probably never even touched a fishing pole. They're just looking for like police videos and body cam footage videos. That's not what my channel is. My channel is a fishing video. I don't have a YouTube revolved around, getting a gun pulled on me. I don't want that to be what my YouTube is. I don't want that to be what my YouTube's known for, but unfortunately, here we are. So I did make the hard decision to pull the video down. I've made it private just due to an insane amount of absurd comments. I had to make the video public again. It is, I'll link it in the description of this video. I'll put it in a comment, whatever. You can go watch that video and see what the incident was. But hopefully this time the algorithm picks it up and puts it out to fishermen so that it can actually maybe help a fisherman in a similar situation. Alright, let's talk about the incident now. So this all happened in mid-October. I launched out of Sunset Creek Boat Ramp, which is where I launch out of about 4 or 5 times a week. But normally when I launch out of there, I'm going fishing in the Hampton River for redfish and trout, or maybe even blue crabbing, or I'm heading out to Mill Creek and the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel area, Fort Monroe, and I'm fishing those areas. I have never gone the other way out of the Hampton River towards upriver in the James. I've never gone that way. The wind was blowing really, really hard that day out of the northwest, so the only wind protected shoreline that day was that little stretch right there going upriver in the James River. So I decided to give it a try. I fished a couple docks. I found some pretty good schools of redfish. Well, I found a good school of redfish, but I pulled a few fish off of that school and they all spooked. Water was super clear. I could see them all disappear, so decided to leave them alone and then go try somewhere else. That's when I found the dock that the incident occurred at. As far as the incident goes, I started recording as soon as I approached the dock. I do it every time. You never know what's going to happen. You might throw your first cast and you catch a fish. So I start recording as I'm approaching the dock, just like I always do. I threw about 3 or 4 casts and then a dog started barking. Personal rule, I stop fishing whenever a dog starts barking. I get it, people don't really always have control over their dogs barking at a stranger right behind their house, so I don't want to bother them, so I usually pack up and I move on. But I didn't really even hardly have the chance to do that because I had a gentleman come out and start yelling at me that I'm on private property. We went back and forth for a few minutes. He said he was going to go call the cops. When someone tells me they're going to call the cops on me, I'm not leaving. I'm not going to leave if the police are supposed to be there. So instead of the police coming though, his wife ended up coming out. We went back and forth again. I told her I am not on public or private property. I am on public waterway. This is a public right-of-way. So we argued, and then she went back in the house, and she came back and returned with a firearm. So at that point, I just stopped arguing. I said, okay, have a good day, basically, and I backed off and just de-escalated the situation. I removed myself from the threat and de-escalated the situation. Every second of the interaction with that dock, with that property, with those property owners is recorded. Every second of it. Nothing was cut, nothing was altered. Only thing I altered was I did elevate the volume slightly so that you could hear what she was screaming at me as I was trolling my boat away. Once I felt I was a safe distance away, I called the police, which is also available in the video. Roughly 25 minutes later, the police ended up showing up and I met them on the shore a few blocks down from where the incident happened. It was very uneventful. People keep asking, oh, where's the body cam footage? Dude, the police said, hey, what happened? I told them exactly what I'm telling you now, what happened. I gave them a thorough description of the incident itself. And they made me fill out a police report. I sat there on a rock and I filled out a police report. My boat actually drifted off once while I was doing it. I had to go wade in the water and drag my boat back up to the shore. Yeah, I filled out a police report, signed it. I told them, hey, I have this all on camera. Now, if you're familiar with a GoPro camera or a DJI camera, I was using my DJI that day. The screen is tiny. It's like a 1.5 inch screen. It's tiny. So half of y'all couldn't even see the gun in the video when you guys were watching it on your TV. The police, I mean, the screen is so small that you couldn't hardly see what was going on. So I showed them the video. They went over there. They talked to the lady. As far as I know, it was cooperative. She gave the gun to them. Basically, story lined up with what I told them. And that was it. There was no arrest, there was nothing, just the gun was taken and a court date was given. That was it. But I went home that day and I gave the police my body cam footage. Or not my body cam. I gave the police my GoPro footage. And I sent it over to the email that they had provided me. And that was it. That was all there was that day. So a few days later, I posted the video, and at that point that the video was posted, there was no charges announced. I came home from work one day, a couple days after that, and there was a subpoena at my door, and it was for the 2 charges that were filed. It was the impeding a fisherman on a tidal body of water or something along those lines, and that's a Class 3 misdemeanor, and there was the brandishing a firearm, which is a Class 1 misdemeanor. November 19th, went to court just to find out from the judge that the court date was changed by, I'm assuming the lawyer, to April 26th. That's all I've got though. There's nothing more to it than that. There was no arrest, the gun was taken away, 2 misdemeanor charges. I don't know, man. That's all I got. So if you have any other questions, leave them in the comments below. Subscribe for some more fishing and updates. And yeah, stay safe out there.